If I told you to sum up your year in only the happy memories, like really truly in only the things that made your year, and to actually write out a list of 100 things that made your year, could you do it? Hi, Feel Good fam. Welcome back to Feel Good Lab, the podcast where we explore the intersection between personal growth and career success and all the good stuff that happens in between. I'm your host, Angel. I am sharing this episode with you in what feels like kind of a late time frame. I know that I did miss a week last week. If you listened to my last podcast, I did insert a bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast because I have been going through a tragedy in my life that I never thought I would experience, especially at this age. It's something that I'm really still trying to learn to cope with emotionally, mentally, and I am by no means all good, all healed from this experience. However, I am trying to slowly learn how to just be human again and just to find my footing and just to reintegrate, for the lack of a better word, into my regular life and work. So here's me trying my absolute best. I know I have a smile on my face and I probably will be jokey and stuff in this podcast, but honestly, I deal with a lot of emotions. Like I cope via humor a lot of the times. So yeah, I don't know. If you sense that I am off in this podcast, it probably is because I still am, but we're pushing through. We're doing the best that we can. And I especially wanted to do this episode because it is a roundup of 100 of my best moments from this year. Hi, Mika. Did you have a good moment this year that you want to share? Thank you. That was very, very helpful. I actually got this idea from Austin Kleon's, I believe, newsletter, where he actually lists 100 things that made his year every year. And I think he said that he's been doing it for 11 years now, which is absolutely crazy. He's the author of the book Steal Like an Artist, which is on my TBR for this year. But I thought this was such an interesting way to review your year. I typically do always do some sort of an annual review where I'll go through and evaluate how the year has gone. But never have I ever had to try to put together a list this long, especially of just the good memories. And I'm not going to lie, it was a challenge. I think especially because I am going through a really tough time mentally right now, having to try to switch my mindset to think about only the good things from last year was pretty hard. But I'm really glad that I did it because it was just such a positive experience and it really made me think about the moments, the things, the people that I really appreciated from last year and that really helped me through a really tough year of my life. So yeah, I think that if you are still in that sort of mindset where you are reviewing your past year, looking at how you can improve and how you can make this year the best year ever, this is a really great exercise to go through. So if you haven't done it, try it out and then come back and comment and let me know how it went for you. But I have the list here. Obviously, I didn't remember every single thing by memory. So I do have it listed on my iPad here. And yeah, we're going to go through all the things. This honestly isn't even all the things. I'm sure there are more things that made my year great, but here are 100 different things that made my 2024 a really good year despite all the mental, physical, emotional hardships that I went through last year. This whole episode will be just one big feel-good moment, but of course we have to start with my feel-good moment of the week as well. My feel-good moment of the week comes from my little city date with my friend Janice. She lives in Miami and she moved down there, I think 2 or 3 years ago now, but she is back up in Vancouver to visit for the winter time. And so I haven't really been able to spend much time with her lately as I've been dealing with this big life-changing thing that's going on. But I finally felt like I was ready to just have a regular hangout with friends again. So we met up in the city. We actually spent some time in a cafe. I was supposed to be sitting there and writing some podcast episodes. We ended up talking the entire time, which honestly was very needed. We also grabbed dinner together, but I think the feel-good moment of this experience, obviously it does come from spending quality time with Janice, but it almost felt like I was reliving some of my core memories from this summer. This past summer, well, actually not even summer, in September, I did end up going to Europe and I spent the majority of my Europe trip with Janice. And some of the best memories that I have from this trip was really just us like sitting together at a cafe, not a worry in the world, enjoying a coffee, enjoying a meal, and just chatting. And I think that me and her, actually, me and all of my friends are really good about having quality time when we are together. And I kind of just like sat back for a second during our hangout and thought about like, wow, like she makes me feel so good. And it did feel like this like repeat of a core memory from this year. So it was just such a nice time, like spending time with her and having that quality time with her and just feeling her love and support through our time together. And hopefully she feels the same from me as well. But yeah, that was my little feel good moment of the week. Short and simple, but much, much appreciated and very well needed. Okay, let's dive right in. I hesitate to call this my 2024 report card. It really genuinely is just the positive aspects. I thought about making more of an actual like report card where I went through and evaluated my year from a bunch of different standpoints. I think I might still make a video for my main YouTube channel talking about sort of planning for the new year and revisiting the past year. So stay tuned for that. But here are 100 things that made my 2024. I started with probably one of the biggest events of last year and one of the biggest events of my life. And it was attending the Super Bowl with Adidas. Just saying that still feels absolutely crazy to me. I still sometimes think in disbelief that the brand chose me to attend this event, that they trusted me to be able to create good content for this event, and just how lucky I really was in being able to experience this like once in a lifetime thing. So yeah, I don't know. Beyond it just being like absolutely crazy that I got to attend the Super Bowl, I got to see the halftime show live, and I got to work with one of my absolute dream brands. This event really was what kicked off my burning desire to like go after my dreams and to quit my job and to try to give this business of mine a full-time try. It pushed me to do this podcast. It pushed me to like pursue content in a more serious way, to look at my business in a different way. I think that really just getting to meet everyone that I did on this trip, meet the people from Adidas, meet other creators, and just feeling the best energy from every single person that I met at that event, from editors of magazines to media people to creators to brand ambassadors to athletes to like the Adidas representatives. It was like probably the single best brand event, social event that I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm so, so thankful, like forever grateful that I was chosen for that experience and that I got to have that experience. Really starting on a high note, like starting last year on a high note and starting this podcast on a high note. Cause yeah, like I still am in disbelief, but I couldn't not put that as my number one because beyond just it being like a really fun time, it really altered the course of my life, like truly and deeply. So that was my number one. By the way, this list is not by any means in order of like importance or joy. It was that just came to mind automatically because it had such a deep impact on my mental and my decisions and my year. Number two was being in Austin with the Notability team. So I've been working with Notability for the entirety of 2024 and just meeting the lovely, lovely people of the Notability team, and then also getting to spend time with other creators. Again, such a beautiful experience. Also, it was the first time that I had ever been to Austin, and that was so wonderful. I stayed a little longer and just did a mini solo trip and tacked that on to like the brand trip, and just everything about Austin was great. The weather was great. The people that I got to meet in the brand portion of the trip were amazing. Again, a very inspiring time for me creatively and in my business. So I couldn't not mention that one. Number 3 was launching and then relaunching my blogs. And I say blogs plural because I have multiple. I feel like I still sometimes wonder, like, should I go back to Substack? Was it a good idea to go independent with my blog? Does it still make sense to have both of these blogs? Like, where does it all fit in my business plan? And that's something that I'm focused on, like, figuring out this year, is where all of my content, all of my platforms fit into my business plan. But I launched and then relaunched coffeeswithangel.com, which is my main sort of like personal journal blog. And then I also have feelgoodstudios.co, which is really the blog that is associated with like my main channel and talking about career and productivity and work and growth. And they are different, but they do share a lot of commonalities in that I try to like imbue all that I learn through people, through courses, through books into these blogs. I still write in them. I try to write in them like weekly, but really it happens like a few times a month. I still write my newsletter that comes along with that. So if you want to read any of that, if you're a reader of blogs, of newsletters, I'll put all my links in the description box below. But that whole experience of just like working with my developer and building and rebuilding these blogs and really like figuring out what I want to do with them was sort of like a great flex of my skills as a marketer and as a web designer and as a writer, but also just, it was a really good experience. Yeah. By the way, if you do read blogs and newsletters, let me know. Do you use Substack a lot? Because I have been reading so many blogs on Substack, and a part of me still thinks that I should maybe go back to it. However, it's hard for me to let go of like my independent publication. And from a marketing standpoint, I think that SEO wise, in the long run, it probably is better to have my own website, but Substack has the benefit of this like shared, almost like marketplace where they have an audience that they can help, that you can utilize as well. So I'm undecided still. I am trying to figure out what I want to do with Substack, but let me know. I think that would be really helpful for me to know like how many of you use Substack and what your thoughts about this whole plan is with my vlog. Number 4, phone calls and FaceTimes with my LDR friend, Janice. So since her moving to Miami, it was like a new experience for me as well to have a long distance relationship friend. And especially a friend that I consider like a best friend, like one of my best friends. And although I find I've been learning that I am not great at like phone calls and just like, or at least regular phone calls and FaceTimes, even with my mom, even with my family, I did really enjoy like every single time that I got to talk with her through the phone, through FaceTime. And I think I do want to make it a goal this year to not only FaceTime her more, but my mom more, my other friends who live in different cities more, and just have more like conversations that aren't through text. They were just a really special part of my year and something I want to try to do more of. Number 5, board game nights with my family friends. So special. So for context, I grew up with a group of family friends who I've always told people were just like my cousins because our parents were best friends since they were young. And so naturally, I've known these people pretty much since birth. One of the parents of like the family friend group actually was in the delivery room with my mom, not my dad, he wasn't there, but she was, and like held my mom's hand, was the first person to hold me. They mean the world to me, and truly they are a part of my family. Like I don't even see them as extended family. I see them as like immediate family. And so we all lead these like very different adult lives and have very different like lifestyles. But every time that we get together, it really truly is such a special and important part of my year. Sorry, I'm getting like a little bit choked up talking about this, but yeah, anyways, it just really, really great times every time I get to spend quality time with them. Legree sessions with my friend June. I don't know if I talked about Legree. I'm sure I've talked about Legree on this podcast, but Legree is truly like just the love of my life when it comes to workout classes. I love using the reformer machine. I love that they have kind of made reformer Pilates into more of like a modern day like workout class type of workout where there's like loud music. You switch between the positions really quickly. It just is wonderful. And then especially the memories of doing Legree with my friend June this year were so, so special. And just seeing her absolutely kill it and seeing her fall in love with this workout that I introduced her to, everything about it, perfection. Love Legree, love June, forever. Number 7, little mini girls retreat with my friends in Squamish. So I do live in the city of Squamish, town of Squamish, and it is an hour away from the city of Vancouver. So I still say that I am like from Vancouver and that I live in Vancouver, but in reality, I live an hour away from like downtown Vancouver. And the area that I live in is like quite, I want to say like suburban, but very like nestled in nature. And so whenever we have the chance, I'll host these like little girls retreats in my home because it's like a nice little getaway from them as well to be going into somewhere where there's a lot more nature and you're an hour away from the city and the hustle and the bustle. So every time that we are able to have these like sleepovers where we cook and we read and we chat and we watch movies and we just spend girl time, I need more of these for sure. They just bring me so much joy and warmth. And every time I like leave one of those girls trips or like when they leave our massive sleepover, I feel renewed, like I feel rejuvenated. Then those are the friends that you need in your life, the ones that make you feel like so renewed and so re-energized and so rejuvenated. And yeah, huge, huge love for our girls' retreats. I can't get enough of them. Number 8, discovering new trails with Mika. I don't do this enough, but we did find 2 new trails last year. I am a little bit cautious about the wildlife that lives in my area. There are bears, there are cougars, there are coyotes, but I think that there are a lot of like frequented trails that I haven't even visited yet. So more of that, but also just such a special part of my last year. Number 9, quitting my job. Absolutely crazy. Still crazy to think about that. Yeah. Oh man. Like probably again, another one of the biggest events of my life. And especially of last year. I'm still very much so unlearning the habits of like being employed, but I'm really glad that I did it. I'm really glad that I took the chance, took the leap of faith and like bet on myself. And I'm really happy with everything that I have going on in my career life right now. And I'm really, really excited to continue to grow in this career path, but absolutely crazy experience. Number 10, working with dream brands like Logitech, Adidas, Herman Miller, HubSpot, and so many more. Need I say more? Need I say more? Like some of these brands I've written down in my journal as dream brands to work with. Like truly the manifestation is working. I did that again this year. I wrote down a bunch of brands that I would absolutely just gush over working with. So let's see if I can further manifest some really, truly cool like brand collaborations, but more so than just like working with them, I want to build a stronger relationship with them as well. 11, discovering a newfound love, which is perfumes. 12, rediscovering a longtime love of reading. Number 13, the Europe trip of a lifetime with my girlfriends. Absolutely the Europe trip of a lifetime. Every part of it was just the Europe trip of a lifetime, like the cities I got to go to, the experiences I got to have, but really just like spending time with so many of my girlfriends all at once in Milan, the city that I'm planning to move to. Crazy core memory. I think about it all the time. Number 14, sitting on a patio in Milan, planning life goals with friends. I can't even explain how much of a core memory that was. Like genuinely, I think back to this specific day so much. What we had done was we had just like stopped by a little restaurant for lunch. It was a gorgeous day. So we sat outside and we all just like sat in the sun, looking and feeling our best, just having such a carefree day. And we went around in circles and talked about like the things that we wanted to achieve that year. We also assigned each person a personal goal that they should try to reach based on what we know of them. This is a really, actually, such a fun exercise if you ever get together with your friends and are just like planning for your year. So we each went around in a circle. So, like, the person that is sitting on my right would give me a goal, and then I would give a goal to the person that was sitting on my left, and we went in a circle like that because it was like a close friend group, so we did have like a good understanding of each person at the table. But having somebody else give you a goal, a hope, an intention based on what they know about you is such an intimate, vulnerable, and valuable experience. Highly recommend it. Please try it if you have like a close group of friends who you do like talking about these topics with. Number 15. Ooh, crazy. Attended my very first Milan Fashion Week event. Absolutely terrifying. This was the point where I was in Milan alone. So I went to the event alone. Several things about this that is terrifying to me. First of all, I am an extroverted introvert, so I have my extroverted moments and I can sometimes turn that on. And I will say, I have been seeing like social events, networking events, PR events quite differently since the Super Bowl event. I feel like that just changed me, but still, I get so much social anxiety when I attend these events. I just feel terrified. I already feel that social anxiety when I attend events in my own city, but imagine being in a city attending an event for something so major like Milan Fashion Week and knowing that there will be not a single person that I know, and knowing that there will be most likely a language barrier. I'm so proud of myself for going to that event. Number 16, discovering a newfound love for tea. I didn't give up coffee, don't worry. I still make my coffee every morning, but I really fell in love with drinking tea this year. I mean, I have always enjoyed drinking tea, especially like Chinese teas, Asian teas, but I've just started to drink a lot more tea just like throughout my day. Something about having a hot cup of tea when you're reading, when you're home, being cozy, being comfortable just fits. It just hits right. So I've been drinking tea almost every evening. It's been such a nice like evening routine for me, or as like a little pick me up in my day. If I'm not feeling matcha or a second cup of coffee, I'll do like a tea with some caffeine in it. Love, 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 love. I love jasmine tea. I love oolong tea. I love black teas. I've been really enjoying this like gingerbread rooibos tea that my friend Terry introduced me to. Big tea drinker now, apparently. Number 17, so much self-discovery. This one's a bit like vague, but I am really proud of myself for this. So many new personal goals, really trying to dig even deeper and heal more. And I know that this is a lifelong journey, but I'm really proud of the progress that I made last year. And I think it's something that I will be proud of myself for like going after year, just like going after personal growth, trying to grow emotionally, mentally, physically, trying to learn how to take care of myself better this year, trying to learn how to communicate better this year. Just so many like personal growth moments that felt really hard when I was going through them, but ended up being really good lessons for life. So yeah, proud of myself for that one as well. Number 18, this one is so silly, but the way that Mika's paws sometimes smells like Cheetos, chef's kiss. And this is like, if you're not a dog owner, a pet owner, this is an actual like phenomenon that pet owners understand. Dog paws smell like Cheetos. Number 19, Mika and I's game called Blanket Monster, which really is just me throwing a blanket over her head and like tickling her and like prodding her and her just like fighting my hand. It's so endearing, adorable, just so, so cute when we do this. And it's just such a fun little game for us. It's like peekaboo, it's like hide and seek, but she'll like really just try to like chomp my hand from underneath the blanket. And then as soon as I take the blanket off, we both just like freeze. And then I throw the blanket back on and then we play again. It's super cute. Maybe I'll try to vlog it at some point so you can see our little game. But yeah, Love every time that we get to play Blanket Monster. Number 20, reworking my Notion again. Honestly, the rework that I needed though, because I use Notion to keep track of like every single thing in my life, it has gotten so crazy over the years. So taking the time to like evaluate every single page that is in my Notion and seeing whether or not they actually are needed, and then deleting pages, archiving pages, reorganizing, restructuring was so helpful, because now it does feel a lot more sane and clear and organized now when I go into it, which is really important because I can't have like the organization system that I use to manage my life be disorganized and messy. That just wouldn't fly. That just wouldn't work for me. So yeah, little things, you know? Number 21, joining Kevin Yee's mastermind. Kevin Yee is a friend that I made in 2024 that I'm really thankful for, because I feel like he was the perfect friend to have made during this period of my life. Not just because he has guided me in a lot of like business things, but also because he's just a great friend to have, like genuinely. But yeah, he invited me to be a part of his mastermind last year, and it was so like it could not have come at a better time. I got to meet some incredible creators, like creators that I look up to, creators that I aspire to be and want to work towards like their level of craft, and just being able to like chat with them every month and talk about our hardships, the things that we're working on, ask for advice. Oh, just like the fact that he turned me on to masterminds in general, I think that they are such a wonderful tool and experience to go through. The word mastermind, I'm sure just if you've heard it before, I'm sure you have that sort of like stereotypical stigma that is assigned to it, because I think for a while it was only used by like, I don't know, salesy people. Like it just felt like a really questionable and sus sales tool for a bit. But I truly believe that they are such an incredible like way to gather a bunch of like-minded, intelligent, smart, wonderful people from a specific category, and to like put your brains together to help each other, right? Like that's the whole point of a mastermind. It's just been like one of the most informative, educational, valuable things that I've done in my business and in my life. And it's something that I'm considering like doing in my business at some point. Like I have talked about my girls mastermind that I'm doing with my friends right now, where we just gather once a month and like help each other with our life goals. But I think that this could be something really valuable to share with my community as well. So anyways, more on that when I like figure out exactly what I want to do with it. But mastermind, but specifically Kevin's mastermind, was a joy to be a part of in 2024. Number 22, taking Ali Abdaal's YouTube course. I did take Ali Abdaal's YouTube course. I've been such a big watcher of Ali Abdaal for so long now, so many years. I think that a lot of the stuff that I learned in the course I had already known, but it was nice to be validated, but also just being able to get an insight on how he organizes and how he plans for content. And like, I'm definitely not saying that I knew everything that he was teaching. There's so many insightful new things that I learned from his course. But yeah, just overall, it was a really great decision for me to take that course at the time that I did, because I think that it pushed me even further in thinking about how to like organize and structure my own content creation, and has just been really helpful in me trying to figure out like what to do with my YouTube channels. Number 23, lighting a candle or incense, having a hot cup of jasmine tea, and reading a book. Oh my gosh, heaven. That is 100% like how I want to end my night every night. Number 24, rediscovering cushion foundation. Genuinely, why did I ever stop using them? Although I am wondering if the cushion foundation I'm using right now is breaking me out, or if it's something else, because my skin has been crazy lately. But I absolutely love the, oh my gosh, I'm going to butcher the name, Samjanmul. Jan Sammul. I will put it in the show notes as well as on screen if you're watching this in video form. But Absolutely loved that cushion foundation this year. I am currently trying a different one right now. I'll also put it in the show notes. I really like how it looks. I really like how it feels, but I think the Johnson Mule one is still the winner of 2024 and is probably what I'm going to go back to once I finish the current one. Number 25, trying to cook new cuisines. My partner introduced me to like Moroccan stew, some lentils to have with pita, just so many yummy things that I got to experience this year. Definitely something I want to continue doing. He made pho, like Vietnamese food. We played with Thai cuisines. There's so many other cuisines that I want to learn and try to cook this year and really just get back into like my love of trying new foods and cooking. Number 26, putting on body lotion every night. Oh my gosh, this has been such a wonderful addition to my nightly routine. I am the first to admit that I used to not like moisturize my body really at all. Like the only times that I would moisturize my body is when I'm going out and I'm wearing a skirt and I know that my legs probably look ashy. That's the only time that I would usually do it. But now, every night after I shower, once I'm all clean, I'm in bed, I moisturize the heck out of my entire body. Pick a moisturizer that you love the scent of. That really makes a difference. But oh, it is such just a luxurious, comforting, awesome experience. And now I feel like I can't go to bed without moisturizing my body. It just feels so good. And you wake up and your skin is so soft and supple and smooth and moisturized. It's just the best. Number 27, sitting in a cafe alone on nobody's time but my own. Number 28, starting my podcast, Feel Good Lab. Hi, that's us. This is us. What a wonderful experience starting my podcast has been. Like, truly, there's something about the format of doing a podcast that just feels so rewarding, fulfilling, and fun for me. I'm really glad that I did this. Did this podcast take off? No. I mean, I'm slowly building like our Feel Good fam and connecting with you, and that makes me so incredibly happy. But do I have like sponsorships and partnerships for this podcast yet? No. But am I still going to be doing this every single week? Yeah, because it's just been a fun experience for me. It's been a really great way for me to experiment with a new method of like content creation and truly madly deeply. This is like, I love sitting here and chatting with you. And I'm so thankful that you want to take the time and spend this time with me every single week. Number 29, interviewing Terry, because having friends in the pod is genuinely the most satisfying thing ever. I have a few more friend chats planned for the pod in the coming like month or so. I'm just excited to feature more of my friends because they're such incredible human beings. And I just want you to know them as well in the way that I know them. And I want you to be able to like sit in on some of the amazing conversations that I get to have with them. So more of that this year. Number 30, Mika being an absolute angel when I'm sick and like happily laying next to me in bed all day. She is just so sweet. She's grown up to be this like really intuitive, amazing, sweet dog. And I'm so proud to call her my dogter. Get it? Daughter, dogter. Number 31, spending like random sister time with my sisters. I do have two sisters. I don't know if you know that. I have a younger sister. Her name is Michelle. And I have an older sister. Her name is Kelly. And I treasure every moment that I get to spend with them. We definitely don't spend like a ton of time together because, again, we lead such different lives. But yeah, every moment that I get to have with them, love. I love them so much. Number 32, deep talks with my mom. Rare, but beloved, okay? I love my mom so much. And it's hard for us sometimes still to have like deep conversations about things. But every time that we do, they are the best conversations ever. And I treasure her opinion and advice very deeply. And, you know, there are some times that I feel like she doesn't understand certain aspects of my life. But there are other times where I'm like, nobody understands me better. 33, reading smutty romantasy. Oh my gosh, this will always be my guilty pleasure. Every time that I'm in a reading slump, I know that the one thing that will get me out of it is if I read a good smutty romantasy. Who's with me on this? Like, I know I'm on Instagram posting that I'm trying to read Dostoevsky, that I'm trying to read more classics, which I am. I am this year, and I did last year as well. But that doesn't mean I don't also read my smutty romantasies or my smutty like rom-com books, okay? Variety. It's all about variety. Number 34. Sitting on the sofa writing newsletters. I want to do more of that this year. Number 35, watching shows and movies after dinner and not feeling guilty. This is a new one for me, but I do really want to watch more films and shows this year because like they are an art form as well, and I will take any sort of inspiration and motivation honestly these days, and I want to start pulling inspiration from like different media and different art forms this year other than just trying to pull inspiration from like other creators, because I think that it just expands my creative mind more when I look at taking inspiration from different like mediums. So more of that this year. I have already started a list in my journal of the films and movies that I watched this year. So stay tuned for my December 2025 recap of all the shows and movies that I watched this year. Number 36, Todos Santos with Kathleen, June, and Kelly. Pure freaking joy. Number 37, migrating and reorganizing all of my footage onto SSD chips. Number 38, my new morning routine, which is meditate, drink lemon water, have coffee while I read, and journal. Absolute bliss. Number 39, Terry leading me through a yoga sequence. She has officially become a yoga teacher. I can't wait to have her back on the pod to talk about that with you, but having a friend lead you through a meditation and a yoga sequence, intimate and beautiful. Number 40, putting my fingers on piano keys again and letting muscle memory take over. Okay, so my little sister, when my younger sister and I used to live together, we bought a piano keyboard together. It's actually sitting like right to the left of my camera right now. So she left on like a little expedition for 6 months to Taiwan. So I took the piano keyboard back. I let her have it when we moved out together, but I took it back because I want to just like start practicing again and use it as like in an outlet, a creative outlet, and putting my fingers to piano keys again and just seeing what I still remember, trying to read sheet music and practicing new songs. I love how that feels. I love playing the piano, and I want to do more of the things that I love this year. Number 41, decanting perfumes for my friends. Number 42, experimenting with my style. I definitely have been trying to do more of that. But at the same time, in my experimentation, I've also been trying to like figure out what the core of my style is, and then purging my closet based on that. Number 43, using my new Hatch sleep machine to play soundscapes while I sleep. Is this what 30 is? Playing soundscapes to help you relax and sleep? If you haven't tried it, highly recommend it. Number 44, purging my closet. Oh my gosh, best feeling in the world. Just purging in general, like getting rid of things, selling things that I no longer use, slimming down to the things that, like only the things that I really need. I've always loved the feeling of purging, but purging my closet especially. Number 45, there's still nothing that feels quite as satisfying as pulling the perfect espresso shot in the morning. True. Number 47, cleaning the kitchen. This is definitely a new one for me, but just being able to like really just like wipe down everything and clean up and do all the dishes after you eat like right away, and then to like turn back and look at your clean kitchen. I love it. Such a good feeling. Number 48, sitting outside with my coffee and Nutella cornetto in Milan in the morning as I journal. Number 49, strolling through Parco Sempione. Parco Sempione is this absolutely gorgeous park in Milan. Number 50, wandering Milan, or really any city with no real destination in mind. Like just wandering and like exploring the neighborhoods, just walking and see where our feet takes us. I've done it with New York. I've done it with LA. I've done it with Austin. I've done it with like most cities that I've visited, I want to say. Berlin, Milan, London. Anyways, it's lovely. Number 51, flea markets in Berlin. Number 52, cafes in Berlin. Number 53, okay, just Berlin in general, to be honest. Berlin is still very, very high up on my list as far as cities I would love to live in. Milan is like number one still, and that's the goal. But like, I think I will probably do a stint in Berlin at some point. Number 54, speaking my novice Italian and feeling so proud that I can have basic conversations. I really got to practice my Italian this year in Italy, and it's just like a really proud moment for me, you know? It's one thing speaking in group classes or like speaking to yourself when you're learning a language, but it's another thing putting it into practice. And I was really proud of myself for actually being able to like understand, oh, hi, a decent bit this year when I went. Like, by no means am I having real conversations, but being able to like have basic conversations, order, and like understand what people are talking about. I love it. It's such a good feeling. Number 55, listening to Italian music and realizing that you can understand certain parts of it. Like, can you tell that I'm so proud of myself for these little things? Number 56, starting my unwind routine at 9 p.m. Love. Number 57, putting on skincare at night. Also love. Like, same with my body lotion routine. It is like self-care time. It's like self-love time when I can just put on my skincare routine, put on my body lotion at night. Number 58, using a natural loofah with the Bioderma body oil cleanser. Elite combination. Number 59, seeing your readiness score go up in the Aura app. I've been loving my Aura ring. Number 60, waking up and not needing any pimple stickers. Rare, but something I treasure deeply. Number 61, watching my mom walk to a small Italian bodega and communicating with the shopkeepers. So endearing, so endearing. Number 62, listening to an entire podcast on my drive down to the city. Number 63, receiving book mail or perfume mail. I do receive a ton of PR. Like, truly, I'm so blessed to be able to work with brands and try out different products to share with you. But book mail and perfume mail feels extra special to me right now because those are the things that I've been like obsessed with again. So yeah. Number 64, attending events and actually connecting with people. Number 65, meeting new friends in new cities. Joy. Number 66, that one room in the Boston Public Library or the Courtyard. Oh my God, I could live there. If that library existed in my city, I would spend all my time there. It feels like you're in Hogwarts. Anything that makes me feel like I'm in Hogwarts, I need more of in my life. Number 67, getting matching tattoos with friends. I will always love that experience. Number 68, unanimously deciding it's time to go back to the Airbnb and ordering takeout after a day of meandering through a new city with Janice. We both agreed that something that we really love about traveling with each other is because we are constantly on the same wavelength, you know? We tried to go out in Berlin, we tried to have the late nights, go to nightclubs, but the best moments were really just moments where we, after a long day of being like around the city and exploring, just looking at each other and knowing right away that it's time for us to go back to the Airbnb, order takeout, and take our makeup off and just chill. Friends who get it just get it. Number 69, sleeping on Kathleen's couch like I'm her adoptive child. She is one of my best friends. I love her so dearly because to me, she has this like very motherly sort of presence. She's just the best. She's just the best. And yeah, I slept over at her house one day and just like sleeping over on her couch made me feel like such a kid and so well taken care of. And I love her for it. Number 70, creating. Just creating has been a joy for me last year and continues to be a joy for me every day and is something that I really look forward to like improving and doing more of this year. Number 71, solo dates, like doing anything really. Number 72, when my partner strokes my hair. I'm such a physical touch person deep down, and something about somebody that you love like stroking your hair, God tier feeling. Number 73, forehead kisses. Again, on my list of God tier feelings. Number 74, making random late night snacks together, quesadillas, popcorn, tacos, pancakes. I love me a late night snack. Number 75, summer's Christmas crack. If those words mean nothing to you, that's totally fine. My friend Summer, every Christmas makes what she calls Christmas crack, and it's like a blend of sugar and Wheaties and I don't know, cinnamon toast crunch, nuts, just like deliciousness, pretzels. And she cooks it all together in, I think it's either marshmallow or like sugar, and it just becomes clusters of deliciousness. And I look forward to having it every year. She refuses to make it any other time other than around Christmas time, which I totally understand because it makes it that much more special when I get to have it. But yeah, I just had some and it was amazing. Number 76, drinking out of my Owala bottle. I want to get another one. I want to get a black one because as much as I love the color block of this, sometimes carrying this bottle around, I'm like, it just doesn't match my outfits. But if you haven't tried an Owala bottle yet, you need to go. Like, you are missing out. There is something about the design of this bottle that makes it the single most satisfying drinking water carrying apparatus I have ever experienced. And this bottle 300% has made me drink more water this year. Number 77, falling in love with vanilla scents. Who would have thought? Never used to think that I was a sweet perfume kind of girl, but there are certain vanilla scents that just got me this year. Number 78, stretching. Such a good feeling. Number 79, watching Mika bury her head in the snow. She's such a little snow girl. Number 80, getting together with my family friends. I know I did mention that around like the board game nights that I have with them, but honestly, any experience with them, like just dinner even, I will treasure forever. Number 81, getting dressed up for any occasion, like just getting dolled up. Number 82, when your budget is all reconciled. Another God tier feeling for me. Number 83, when my content calendar is completely planned out. So satisfying. Oh my God, so satisfying. Number 84, having back-to-back exciting partnerships. Again, love that feeling. Not just because I know that I'm going to have income, but also because it creatively challenges me every time I get to work with a brand, because I kind of have to play within like their rules while also trying to play within like my creative space. And also it just makes me feel like I'm doing something, like I'm doing the thing. I'm succeeding in the career path that I've been wanting to pursue for so long. So, yeah. Good feelings. Number 85, completing projects. Oh my God, when everything is approved, when I can set the video live, set the website live, whatever it is, another God tier feeling. Number 86, when my things sell on Marketplace. No haggling, no meetup hiccups. When things just sell, if you know, you know. Number 87, dog sitting, aka Mika gets to have friends over. We've dog sat my partner's mom's dog. We've dog sat my friend June's dog. But anytime that we get to have like a doggy here with her and just have her go through like that experience as well, but also just having another like doggy friend in the house, I love. Number 88, being on the couch with Mika and my partner with the weighted blanket over all three of us. Number 89, finding what you've been looking for in vintage stores. Oh my gosh, I had such good luck with vintage stores this year, especially in Europe. And I got to find some dream pieces. And I can't wait to do more of that when I move to Europe. Okay. Number 90, Intimacy Me underwear. My life has been changed by Intimacy Me underwear. I now want to replace every single pair of my underwear with an Intimacy Me underwear. And then as an add-on to that, Intimacy Me silk jammies. God tier jammies. Number 91, taking GABA and magnesium before bed. I did start taking L-theanine, GABA, vitamin D, pretty much just like a bunch of supplements, but GABA and L-theanine specifically to help with my cortisol levels. And although I'm not somebody who's ever had troubles like sleeping, like I've never really dealt with insomnia, still, I feel like it is giving me a more restful sleep, which I'm very thankful for. Number 92, back bends, both in yoga, but just when I'm stretching. Oh, it's such a good feeling because when you're doing a back bend, you're also doing kind of like a chest opener. And both of those feelings, as somebody who just like sits at a desk so much, love. Number 93, good hair days when every piece is just laying right. My hair is not having a good hair day today, which is why I keep touching it. But when I do have those days, it's like a feeling no other. Number 94, every single email response that I get from my newsletter followers, my podcast listeners, every message that I get from you guys, so fulfilling. Makes me so happy. It makes me really happy when you guys email in and just like introduce yourselves, because being able to like learn who you are, a little bit of your story, it kind of like solidifies that feeling that like I'm talking with friends. Like me and you were friends, and I'm not just sitting in my living room talking to my camera into a mic. Like this is a conversation with my friends in my special little corner of the internet, my community. And yeah, just know that I treasure those messages very much. Number 95, using my journal as a scrapbook and adding stickers and travel ephemera. So fun. Another creative outlet for me, something that I don't do enough of, but I did do a lot of when I was traveling this year. I did keep a travel journal, and it's just like, it just feels special when I get to do that. Number 96, writing random lists. I have been such a list maker last year, but also like this month. I've just been making list after list after list. They're just so satisfying to make. They're a great way to like journal and record things down. I think this year is going to be like my year of lists. Like this one, my 100 things that I loved last year. Number 97, my Paper Republic journals. I will never get over my Paper Republic journals. I discovered them in 2024. I grew my collection in 2024. I've been so blessed to work with them and be able to provide everyone a like seriously good discount on their bundles. 30%. If you use Angel PR30, you can get 30% on one of their bundles. I cannot say enough good things about this journal. It is literally everything that I've ever been looking for in a notebook cover, and I will be using the system until the day that I die because that's how much I love it. Number 98, writing cursive using fountain pen. Another love that I discovered in 2024. I have always wanted to get into fountain pens, but never really knew where to start. But last year I did put in the effort in like researching fountain pens to try. I got my first one when I was in Boston at Top Drawer, which is a like American stationery store that I really love. So I started with one. Now I am the proud owner of 4 fountain pens, and it is a writing experience like no other. Number 99, shoes that don't make my feet sweaty. Yes, this is me being vulnerable. I have sweaty feet. It's really gross. I don't like the feeling of it at all. And when I wear shoes, like cheap shoes that are made from plastic materials, my feet sweat a lot more because they're not breathable material. So I have like made the conscious decision over the last few years to really just start investing in good shoes and to really be cautious about the shoes that I wear and the breathability of the shoe. Like leather is a really good material for my feet. Mesh, I don't know, just like canvas. There are a lot of materials that do work for my sweaty feet. I love a good sandal. I love having my toes out. Does that gross anyone out? I'm sorry if this grosses you out, but yeah. Shoes that don't make my feet sweaty. I need more of those. Finally, I can't believe we made it all the way to number 100. Telling people that I love them. I'm going to get choked up. Oh my God, stop. Okay. Yeah, I think just like a small reminder to do more of that this year. If you haven't been, if you're not somebody who says that a lot to the people you love, maybe it's just not something that you're used to. I challenge you to try to do more of that this year. I've always been somebody who like says love you before I leave a friend or a loved one, or before I get off a call with my mom. Yeah, but this year I'm like trying to make the cautious effort of even just going the extra step and saying I love you rather than love you. It just feels more personal. I want to make sure that I leave every single interaction with people that I love, letting them know and reminding them of how loved that they are. Sorry about the gushing, sorry about the cheesiness, but just really important like thing that I want to just be even more conscious about this year. That was a hefty list. It was really therapeutic to be able to like go over it again. to tell you about all my good moments of this year. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you found some inspiration in my list to make your own list. And if 100 things feels terrifying to you to make, start with 10. And if you do 10, do 20. If you can do 20, do 30, so on and so forth. Actually, before I end the episode, I do want to tell you about something that I recently started to do. So on the mastermind that I'm a part of, Kevin recently invited Matthew Dix to come in to have a talk with us. If you haven't heard the name Matthew Dix before, he wrote the book Storyworthy. He's the author of a few other books as well. I haven't read Storyworthy, but it is now on my TBR list. But I have heard of the Story for Life method that he sort of promotes in that book. The Story for Life method is a daily sort of journaling practice, but really all it is, and he does this in an Excel sheet. I do this in Notion, but you write an entry every single day. It could be one sentence. It could be a paragraph. It can be really, really short if you want it to be. It can be a phrase of 4 words. But every single day you want to write one story worthy or memorable thing from that day. Even if you had the most basic, mundane day ever, find just one thing to record down. So for me, those things have been stuff like watching Mika sleep as I film my podcast and seeing her little feet twitch. It could be today when I was sitting at the cafe, I saw this old woman walk by and saw her just take a moment to admire the trees and the leaves, just little things that you can find in your day that are beautiful, that are worth just writing about. I think the whole point of the book, from what I understand, is that your life is worthy of writing about, is worthy of telling stories about. And it's really about finding these small, seemingly unimportant moments and recording those down. So not only will you soon have a database of story-worthy moments in your life, but you'll have a database of simple moments in your life that you have made spectacular by remembering them. And if you're somebody who finds that you have a tough time remembering memories or moments in your life, or maybe you just feel like you don't have a great memory, this is an amazing way to start recording down and remembering your life. So being able to look back and see okay, what was my day like on December 2nd in 2022? And being able to see oh, I really enjoyed my coffee that day. I made a really good latte with latte art that day, whatever it is, but being able to go back and see all the beautiful moments of every single day, I think is such a wonderful thing. I did only just start this in December, but making this list of 100 things that made my year would have gone so much easier if I have started this at the beginning of last year. So I challenge you to try it. Do a little bit more research into it. I will put some resources in the show notes for you. I'll put the book in the show notes as well as some detail about the Story for Life exercise. But if you're somebody who has wanted to record your life in some way, but can't commit to journaling 3 pages every day or journaling a page even every day, try this method, because I think it's a really just wonderful way to remember your life and to record your life. Okay, that is everything that I have for you for this episode. As always, thank you so much for spending the time with me here. I hope you got something out of it, or you just got a giggle or a smile out of the beautiful moments that I had in 2024. If you made it this far, I want you to leave maybe a tree emoji or some sort of a plant emoji in the comments so that I know that you're a real one, so that I know you are a part of the Feel Good fam and that you stayed with me all the way to the end. And if you did, I love you so, so much. I did recently post on my Instagram as well as the Feel Good Lab pod Instagram and asked you for questions for an upcoming Q&A episode that I want to do. I want to do another tough love episode where I share advice on any questions that you may have. I also want to do a joint episode with my friend Summer and share advice on any dating or relationship questions that you may have. I've been talking about this topic topic a lot with her. So if you missed those Instagram stories, email in or comment them into wherever you're watching this podcast episode. Email in your questions that you want advice for, either in just like general, like personal growth, career, or in relationships and dating. And I will try to answer as many as I can in those upcoming Q&A episodes. Other than that, I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you're tuning in from. And I will see you happily in our next episode together. Bye.